The reason for making the box is because Poussin used to try to make the composition as a little stage set first, and then make the drawings. The box is made out of sweet chestnut. There's an eye hole at one end, and then there's 2 sliding doors on either side with brass plates over them, and then one on the rooftop as well. So that acts as the lighting, the kind of stage lighting.
I'm Sian Lewis, I'm an artist. I worked with the fabric, the use of silk as clothing for the models. The natural thing to do was to wet it, because of course it was quite sort of stiff really to start off with, and applied it to the models. As it was drying, I could manipulate the folds into the right place, pin them very lightly, and as the silk dried, it would hold in place.
All of the figures are made out of beeswax, but also there's about 25% pine resin, and it makes it just slightly stiffer and more plastic to work with. And so the idea of Poussin having quite a lot of figures, you can quite easily introduce new characters in, warm them up in your hands, manipulate them. And so the trial and error process of modelling and trying new compositions is very quick.
So when we were setting up the figures, introducing them onto the board one by one to build up the scene.
That was one of the fun things, is actually deciding who's important and who's less important, and then progressively taking away those figures.
Yeah, and the dynamics between the figures became more potent as the figures got less and less. It became, I don't know, very poignant.
But when it works perfectly is when you have it near a window. Then suddenly you get this beautiful raking light. You'd have direct sunlight coming in. Then you get uplighting, which had this wonderful reflective kind of glow that would lift up their faces. And suddenly there's another level of manipulation. In a way, it's kind of proving how useful a tool it is to create all these different atmospheres.
It's a great tool to be able to control light in a space, to create a dramatic effect.
And there was a lovely thing that's described Poussin using a stick to manipulate the cloth inside. And I was thinking, is that right? You know, why would you use a stick when you can just take the top off and you can start moving the figures around yourself? And then there was one moment where I'm looking through the eye hole and I needed to change the drapery. So I got a screwdriver and started pushing through the side.
That's why.
This is why. This is how, because you need to be able to look at it and observe it and move it all at the same time. So this is the machine really which makes everything else happen afterwards, without having to commit to lots and lots and lots of drawings.
And until you're met with the challenge of trying to reproduce the scene, it is academic.
As much as you try and think and kind of intellectualise how things are used, until you actually use them, it doesn't really mean that much.